Women in men's fields. What do you guys know about that? The first time I ever heard it was a little over a year ago, and I've always wanted to create a video to properly explain it and to just dissect it in a way because I still see it to this day. I see so many videos or even comments of women, oh yeah, just me being in a man's role, women in men's fields. It's just like coping. It's coping with whatever hurt they've been through. Have you ever wondered why women genuinely think like that? It's because they had their heart broken. Seriously. That's where it comes from. It comes from pain, it comes from trauma, it comes from the fact that a man has not succeeded their expectations or exceeded their expectations. Usually, when it comes to being a woman in men's fields, it's not just regarding being a man, right? We don't want to be a man. But the thing is, we love to project the fact that, yeah, we can do whatever a man can do. That's what, we say. That's what we put out into the internet. I can do anything a man can do. So if a man breaks my heart, guess what? I could break a man's heart. Women in men's fields. What's wrong with this is it's taking an eye for an eye. And if you heard that in the Bible, that is not the proper way to go about pain. It's not the proper way to go about revenge, right? Karma is real. So if we let karma take the wheel, we don't need to be in a men's fields. We can heal as proper women. We can heal ourselves in a feminine way. So to sit here and say, oh, this man broke my heart, he cheated on me, I don't see why I can't do the same to get my revenge or to get my animosity back, to get my aura back, to get my sense of self back. I'm going to go be a woman in a man's fields because it makes me feel better. It helps a woman cope to tell herself, you know what? A man can see 50 women, I can see 50 men, right? A man can have a one night stand, I can have a one night stand. And it's also in another toxic way where we have feminized men. Women in men's fields, it's not always just pain and trauma, but it's also projecting the fact that men have chosen to be like women? Question mark? There's a lot of men out there that are really sorry for themselves. Like they are very sorry. Okay? Like to say that every man is a man with dignity and power and vigilance and he, has the power to lead. Not every man does, okay? Point blank period. You don't need to put down those sorry men. I don't see why bullying should be a reason to be a bad person. Like, why should you want to be a bully, right? As women, you don't have to be the most feminine woman. You don't have to be the most masculine woman. But have some grace. Man or woman, have some grace, right? Heal with grace. Why do we need to have eye for an eye? Why do we need to spread negativity? Why do we need to spread hate? Why do we need to spread this toxic, masculine, feminine energy? Because that's exactly what we're doing. Women in men's fields. What does that even mean? Like, why? Like I see it so often in so many different scenarios. Like, there could be a relationship and the woman is holding the door open for the man, like, I'm just a woman in a man's field because he's supposed to be doing it for me. Just emasculating men. It's emasculating men. And I don't think there's any man who deliberately doesn't open a door for a woman. I've never seen it. I've never witnessed it. If anything, men love to open the door for women. So what are we projecting out here? It's very toxic. I never agree with it. All of this toxic masculine feminine clashing is created by a projection of what women think of men. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of toxic men out there that think every woman is this, that, or the other. Oh my God, she's wearing so much makeup. Oh my God, she's doing. Then don't get her as your girlfriend, like point blank, period. People have free will to do what they want. You can't control everyone. And if you don't like that woman, move on. If you don't like the way she dresses, move on. You know what I mean? We don't need to spread all this negative hate and like it's toxic to the human brain to sit here and think you can control everyone and what they do and their intentions about it. You can control your energy. So don't give that energy to anyone but the people you really want to. It's not that hard. It's seriously not that hard. There's bad people, there's good people. Give the energy to the good people. Why are you giving energy to the bad people? This goes for men and women. Women love to shame men. Men love to shame women. But I don't see men out here saying men in women's fields. I don't see that. I don't like that. That's not even a concept. But women can project their own trauma, project their own pain, because women love to just relate with it. We relate with the fact that we hate men. That is the one thing all women can agree with. And it's sad, right? Oh yeah, I hate men. Oh yeah, get on board, sister. Get on board. We all hate men. The one species we wish that was not on this earth, it would be what? All women would think men. It'd be a peaceful life. And I actually saw this video of this guy. He was interviewing people on the street. I mean, if you guys watch those types of videos, they're, kind of like a social experiment. But this guy was interviewing men and women saying, if you lived on a planet with just women, would you live there? Right? What's your answer? All women? Hell yeah. Yup. Yup. I would, right? I would live there. Every woman was like, hell yeah. Where is it? Where's this planet? He asked men, if there was a planet with just men, would you live on it? Every man said no. Every man said no to living on a planet with just men. There were some little bits of men that were like, yeah, I guess, maybe. But then immediately you was like, you know what? No, I would probably regret it. I would probably regret living on a planet with just men. Yeah. That was the social experiment. So women have no problem getting rid of men. Men don't have any intention of getting rid of women. Now, this can be took in many ways, right? Men think more sexually. Men think reproductively. Oh, why would I live with just men? That's kind of boring, right? It's pretty boring to have no drama, no sparkle, no, nothing visually appealing, right? It's just boring. Just men. Just men being men, competing with each other, whatever you guys do, it's just men all together. But women, we know how to get together. We know how to agree on something, and it's that. It's exactly that. It is, yeah, let's get rid of the men. Yeah, girls' night, every night, right? Sparkle, 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 decorate, decorate, decorate. We love that. But think about it. Without women creating this drama, what would life be? Right? We love to say, oh, the gender wars, oh my God. There is no war if it's only one way. You know what I'm saying? There's no war if it's just one army. There's two armies in a war, at least. There's at least two armies in a war. So to get rid of the war is to stop clashing. Simple as that. Simple as that. Put up the white flag. Put up the white flag. And you know who is not going to put up the white flag? So yeah, I thought that video was very interesting because it put into perspective like, wow, men do want peace, but deep down, women know the true peace is within the women. Within the women. Because we get to choose the energy. We choose the energy around us. Quite literally, we create the energy. We create the excitement. I'm not saying men don't create excitement, but I mean, come on. You wouldn't want to live in a world with just men, would you? Would you? Or would you? You know what I mean? So, women in men's fields is a way that women have been coping. Instead of genuinely choosing peace, we choose war. We choose, you know what? I'm going to get under a man's skin, and I know exactly how to get under a man's skin. I'm going to make him feel emasculated. I'm going to make him feel like, yeah, I can do anything that a man can do. Yeah, anything. I can make money. I can buy myself a car. I can buy myself a house. I can have kids without a man. I can do anything without a man. Women in men's fields. Because we've always looked at men as they can do anything they want for centuries, decades, centuries. Like we have always looked up to men as doing whatever they pleased. Period. So in this day and age, 2025, almost 2026, right? Women are like, you know what? Like at this point, I just want you to make me laugh. I just want you to make me happy because you, quite literally, I can provide everything for myself. Women in men's fields. I can hold the door open for you. I can, I can make you question everything. I can make you want to text me again, double text me. When I'm over here, I used to be over here 16 years old, like stressing about a man, stressing about a boy, right? Because women, we've all experienced some sort of heartbreak. We all have. And men don't experience heartbreak like a woman does. They don't. Obviously, a man can experience heartbreak. That's not what I'm saying. But a woman who is very emotional, okay, most women are emotional. If they are not, then touche. But women are very invested in this emotion. So it takes a lot longer for a woman to get over anything, right? To genuinely heal, gracefully heal. So in order to actually get that fire under her butt, she has to motivate herself, Women in men's fields. I can do anything a man can do. Girlfriend, don't you agree? Yeah. We use sisterhood to create that confident and abundant mindset. Women are already abundant. Naturally, we are abundant. We are the life force of this earth. We create life. We are abundant. We create abundance. So we times 10 that when we all come together as women and start creating energy. We just start pointing fingers and, some women do take accountability, but it's all about sitting back and being like, you know what? I'm not going to do eye for an eye. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take revenge. I think that's the most powerful way to really heal. It's powerful. Most women love revenge. We love it. We love revenge. We love making a man feel like shit. We love making a man feel at least a fraction of the amount that we have felt. We do. We love it. If a man breaks up with us, cheats on us, whatever the case may be, and it's a toxic breakup, whew, what we will tell our girlfriends, what we will tell our friends, even the friends will be the first ones to think of revenge. They'll be like, oh, we're gonna mess up his house. We're gonna key his car. We're gonna do some crazy ish, right? It makes us feel better, right? It makes us feel like we can take that control back. We can take that power back. But what is it really doing? It's just recycling negative energy. If he gave you negative energy, girl, that is your job to throw it away. Throw it away. It's easier to take revenge than to sit back and actually feel it. So, yeah, women in men's fields. I've always wanted to talk about it. I've always wanted to really give my input on it because I can't sit here and say that men pretend to be in a woman's field. You know, like I've seen maybe a little bit of videos of them just mocking the toxic topic, the toxic concept. They've mocked it like, oh, well, you know, I can take care of the baby too, blah, blah, blah. I can cook dinner too. I can do dishes too, you know, just, I don't know. It's just it's just war. It's war. So every time a man clashes with a woman, every time a man is like, you know what? F off, blah, 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 you know, and they don't choose to take the high road, it's just more war. It's more war. Every time a man convinces himself he can change a woman, convinces himself, you know, he can talk ish on women, you're part of the problem, bro. You really are. You know, like there's no peace in this world if you are not the peace. Be the change you wish to see in the world. If you want to see peace in this world, why are you still creating toxic energy? Seriously. If you don't want a hoe as a girlfriend, don't have a hoe as a girlfriend. If you don't want your girlfriend to look a type of way, don't pick that as your girlfriend. You know, women at this point, we understand what we want. It's just become more of a standard. It's a higher standard. It's just what it's become. And so, men, you can have a higher standard too, but don't sit here and put down women because you have a higher standard. It's just creating more war. It's creating more clash. You control yourself. You can't control women. Women will do what they want, right? But at least get it to a point where they're shooting at nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, a war can only be a war with at least two armies. You can't shoot nothing. So if you want peace, create the peace, right? Within yourself. So, yeah, thought I would talk about that today. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So if you got to this point in the video, happy Thanksgiving. Even if you are not living in the United States, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. I hope everyone has a blessed day and you get to spend time with the people you love and care about. So thank you, and I'll see you guys later.